Hi, everybody. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Get settled. We're going to get started in just a moment. Let the song play just a little longer. Come on in the room. Say hi when you come in. Talk to me, I talk back. Hello, everyone. I am Mambo. I am your weekly reader here on the channel. I am Coven Mother and founder of Vision the Dawn Tour, as well as the facilitator and founder of the Charm School Mentorship Program. Again, I'm your weekly reader, local priestess, spiritual life coach, and a dope bitch straight up out of Oakland. Hey, Elisa. Hey, Drina. Hey, Lavana. Hey, Nicole. Again, as you come into the room, say hello, introduce yourself. Again, this is a reading I give every Sunday just to give a little insight into the week ahead of us. If you know anyone who would be interested in receiving a reading like this, please tag them, share this reading far and wide. I'm probably not going to be on here too late today. Some of you may know that I did healing sessions this weekend, and I'm very exhausted. I love this service, but part of the reason why I only offer it in the summers is because it does take a lot out of me. So I am in desperate need of rest, but I also didn't want to fall out of alignment or fall out of habit with making sure that I do this consistently every Sunday. Hold on a second. I think my soror's baby got into UC Berkeley. Sorry. See, this is the difficult thing. I wish that it was possible to just do Instagram through StreamYard, because whenever I try to go on to link through my phone, I get distracted. I got to reach out to her and see if that's the case. Let's see. Okay, that should work. Y'all know the drill. I got it set up for Instagram. All right, y'all got to help me get more followers on Instagram, because they're changing their feature soon. And if you don't have 1,000 followers, you can't stream from there. So if you are not already following me on Instagram, find me and follow me. Hello, Instagram. I'm here for the weekly wisdom reading. Hope you guys are all well. We're going to get started in just a minute. Give me a moment to burn my Palo. Hello, Priestess. Hello, Empress. Hello, Tashana. Hey, Dulcinea. How's everybody weekend been? We're on the second day of Chiron retrograde. How's it been treating you so far? We got 5 more months of this BS. 5 more months of this to go. All right. Apollo taking forever to light up. If you guys did not catch the Chiron retrograde reading that I did on Friday evening, please make sure that you check it out. I'm going to leave it in the description of my lives until mid-December, because I do think it's an important video for everybody to watch. Not only do I give an overview of Chiron retrograde, but I do a reading over this particular transit through Aries, just to see what the collective needs to be mindful of. Hey, Sanidra. So make sure you watch it if you haven't already. For those of you who are interested in the Chiron readings based on astrological sign, based on your sun, moon, rising, or Chiron position, those will go up in the next day or so on Patreon. I wasn't able to do them this weekend the way I wanted to, because again, in-person healing sessions had to be present for the people who came to see me down in Atlanta this week. But let's go ahead and just jump straight into, sorry, I'm balancing. Only have 2 emotional support drinks today. You know what? Let me get off camera because I'm realizing I don't have the proper decks. I will be right back. My apologies for that. I do these sessions in an area that obviously is not my home. Oh my God, I got up and y'all saw the mess on my couch. Don't judge that. That was what happened in the process of me trying to pack for these sessions. Don't judge me. Okay. Um, so let's go ahead and jump straight into the general reading. Ancestors, angels, and master spirits walk with me. My elevated ancestors. Actually, I'm sorry. I know I'm taking a long time to do things. Let me start over on Instagram. Hello, Instagram. Okay, jump straight into it. I did some research and still trying to find the house Chiron is in. Where did you look up your chart? Where did you look up your astrological chart? What website did you use, Nicole? Ancestors, angels, and master spirits who walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need about the week ahead of us? Give us insight into the nature of the lessons, blessings, challenges, and breakthroughs that will come across our path. Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves and our environment in order to be able to move forward? Give us wisdom about how to navigate the next 7 days in your precious names. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hey, Bertal, good to see you. Nicole, do you remember what site you got your chart from? Hey, Tiffany, good to see you. Some of you are going to be hit with an indecision this week about something major as it's related to your future, specifically like your career trajectory. Clarify this Two of Swords, spirits. What do we need to know? Spirit, clarify this Two of Swords. Give us wisdom about this Two of Swords. Okay. I think Cafe Astrology only focuses on the planets. You want to go to astro.com. You want to go to astro.com or Astrodecient. Those would be the two that I'd recommend. And they're going to have your Chiron. And you want to pay attention to the sign of your Chiron as well. AstroSeek has it. Dulcinea said that AstroSeek also has it, but Cafe Astrology is not going to have that information. Yeah. Some of you guys are making a decision about whether or not you need to break away and like invest in a dream or a vision that you have for your career. And then there are others of you who feel like you need to continue to go along to get along. There's a feeling of imposter syndrome that's coming up for some of us. Your spirits would really, really love to see you go ahead and move forward with the dream or the vision. Now, when I say move forward with the dream or the vision, that doesn't mean you have to be in action around it. You are still very much in the planning phases. But for those of you who continue to have a lot of workplace dissatisfaction, who continue to feel like you're stuck in your career, it is never going to change unless you have the discipline to change it, right? You're never going to get to the point where you feel like you are earning the money that you deserve to earn unless you actually actualize this particular vision or dream. The more that you avoid it out of fear, or the more that you let your imposter syndrome force you into stagnation, the more likely you are to see other people around you go ahead and lift off in terms of this. Because here's the thing, it is a brilliant idea, but it's not such a great idea that nobody else can do it, or nobody else, it'll come up for somebody else, right? This is something that needs to be birthed, and it will get birthed, period, okay? This week I was hit with a lot career-wise. It's been very emotional. Let's see. So that means that this is right on time for you. Very first card, King of Pentacles. Only king that is responsible for the development of his own wealth. He is not born into riches the way that the other kings are. And he is comfortable with the hard work and the vision that allows him to go on a trajectory that brings him to success in early retirement, right? Here's the thing. If you don't understand how hard the King of Pentacles worked to become the King of Pentacles, it's easy to look at him from the outside looking in, and assume that he's just very, very lucky. And there are some of you guys that have something you want to do, but you waffle back and forth between doing it. There's a part of you that's like, I'm just going to stay where I'm at and I'm going to be safe. And then there's the other part of you that's like, I'm not going to have better until I move differently and do differently, right? Who is high? Who is high? High, please. I know your mama did name you high. So if you can share a name, I would greatly appreciate it. If not, given some of the exchanges and the interactions I've had over the last couple of weeks, I'm going to have to block you. It's no hard feelings. Okay. Thank you, Renee. Thank you so much. Because I don't have time for the gang stalking and the monitoring and all that shit. Please, that's why I ask everybody, tell me your name when you get here, okay? But there's an indecision that some of you guys have been stuck in, and it's stagnating you. You're not able to move forward. And that indecision is being caught between imposter syndrome, feeling like you're not worthy or capable of the things you know you need to work towards, and having this big dream, having this big vision, being really excited about something that's new, and knowing that this new, fresh thing is it's innovation for you, right? And that's where people are stuck. Now, here's the thing. Right after this cluster of cards with the Two of Swords, we have the Chariot. So your spirits would really, really love to see you move in action, in self-belief, in self-worthiness around your goals. If you believe deeply that you are deserving of these things, then you will move forward towards them. And even when you hit a bump in the road, even when things feel tough, even when it feels like life is pulling you in opposite directions, you're going to keep going after what you want because you believe you deserve it and you believe that you're supposed to hit this goal. A lot of you, again, going back to this Eight of Pentacles, some of you guys don't want to make the difficult decision because you know that it's going to require hard work and you don't want to put the hard work in. Refining a skill set is difficult, even if you love it. I don't mean to be a bitch, but I'm gonna have this conversation. It's not my godchildren. My godchildren don't do this. But I've had this argument with previous students in charm school where no matter how much I tell them, if you don't practice your divinations in private, if you don't sit in meditation with your spirits, if you don't put the insights that you have into writing that will later become your grimoire, then you're never going to develop these skill sets. And they sit around and think that this shit is going to come to them through osmosis, and then they get resentful later. And then the people that actually put the work in, that studied hard, that trained themselves, up one day are literally experts in a field that they did not anticipate. There's a reason why damn near every single one of my godchildren is skilled and has healing hands with Reiki, or they're brilliant in terms of their ability to move an audience, right? That's because those are skill sets they developed. But the thing is, you guys want different, but you are afraid to put the hard work in. Because if it doesn't happen quickly for you, you feel like it's not worth it. That is the mentality that needs to change. Knight of Pentacles, slow and deliberate work, observation, building a plan over time, keeping your house and your porch clean, getting awareness of the landscape so that you know how to strike, that you know how to move forward. Are the things that you guys are dreaming about and that you crave for change in your future things that are going to happen overnight? Absolutely not. But does that mean that you lie to yourself and act like you don't want those things? No, it doesn't. The answer is discipline. Discipline, routine, faith in your discipline, in your routine. The Hierophant is not just spiritually disciplined out of dogma. When they're in debilitation, yes, they are. But that's not the only reason why they are disciplined. They're disciplined because they... Hi, Jaleesa! Hi, Jaleesa. Thank you for joining tonight. It's good to see you. It was such a pleasure to meet you yesterday. But the Hierophant moves with discipline because they understand that those routines, those practices will bring them to a place of development over time, right? They understand that that hard work is going to pay off. They understand that when they are disciplined in their actions, that leads to breakthrough, that leads to transformation, right? This is what's difficult about, I'm not going to go there, but it's like people want to have just one breakthrough moment. No, breakthrough moments come. It's a lot of things that you have to stack up and a lot of practices you have to engage in before the breakthrough happens, okay? That is what's going to get you all to your independent wealth. That's what's going to get you all to your luxury. It's not going to be some imaginary moment where you win the lottery out of nowhere. No one's going to knock on your door and give you that promotion that brings you into a six-figure salary. The only thing that's going to bring you to a place of financial stability and control over your reputation and your career is a solid plan, hard work over time, observation of the landscape and the environment that you're trying to develop, and a belief in yourself. Some of you, and I know I'm harping on it, but I kind of know who some of you, I love y'all, but there are a couple of y'all who I know this message is for. There are some of you who want big change, but you're not willing to put in the big work and the big discipline to get it. And for you, it's easier to sit in indecision and act like you don't understand than it is for you to make the sacrifice of the hard work. Because what if the hard work takes me too long? Okay, if it takes you too long, then at least it's getting you closer to your goal, right? Again, chariot energy, waking up every day with the belief that your goal belongs to you and doing something, even if it's small, every day that brings you closer to it. And even if you stumble a little bit, reminding yourself that it's okay to get up and brush yourself off and continue to move forward. It is hyper dedication. Cancer energy. Cancers are very determined. They're very loyal. They're very dedicated. People, again, they're water signs, so people want to focus on the sensitivity. Tell a Cancer no. Especially if it has something to do with their family. Tell them no. And that's why this is such a powerful card. Yes, they are moving towards this journey, but they understand that what they build brings them legacy. And you don't get in the way of a Cancer and their legacy. Okay? So if what you want is to build something bigger for yourself, if what you want is to not just be put in a cycle of work that is safe, if you want to have a legacy, you have to be committed to the discipline of it, as well as, here's the thing, being still is not the same thing as not working. And the Knight of Pentacles understands that. I always say Knight of Pentacles is not the sexiest of the knights. It's not the sexiest card in the deck. People sustain themselves off of the work of the Knight of Pentacles. They need somebody to guard the home. They need somebody to make sure that the stocks are reserved. But people don't want to do that work themselves. And in order for you to get to where you want to go professionally, there's no way to escape doing this work. There isn't. You're gonna have to work hard. You're gonna have to be still. You're gonna have to be comfortable with not being impressive to other people. Because other people aren't gonna understand what you're working towards, but it's not about them. It's about you, your faith, and your discipline. Okay? So that is the general message. Let's go into money next. Since career came up so strong in the general reading, we might as well go into money next. Ancestors, angels, and master spirits, talk with me, my ancestors. What wisdom does the collective need about their money, finances, relationship to abundance and prosperity? What insights will they receive during the week of July 28th through August 3rd about their relationships with money? Who do they need to be and what do they need to see about themselves, their environment, and their habits that will allow them to cultivate a healthy, peaceful relationship with their money? If there are any deficits or blockages present in the collective of those who are watching, either live or in the replay, reveal those blockages now, so that everyone receives the wisdom that they need. In your precious name, we thank you. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. This message resonates. I'm thankful to hear that. When Cancer is bought, 50 is the first who comes to mind. And I love that you gave 50 as an example. 50 Cent is, sorry, I think my mascara may be getting old. 50 Cent is a perfect example of a determined Cancer. When he started getting blackballed from the music industry, he did not let people play in his face about his money and his comfort. What did he do? He pivoted. He pivoted into film and movies, and now he gives us some of the best urban dramatic ratchetry on television. If 50 Cent's name is attached to a show, I'm gonna watch it. Right? And then between that and his alcohol investments, he has really bought himself very, very far. So no, this was not somebody that accepted defeat. This is not somebody that just accepted the BS that people tried to pour into him. He was determined to be successful because in his mind's eye, he's always seen himself as a success. Again, I already changed those of you who have tarot decks, I encourage you over this next week to really meditate over the energy of the Chariot. When you hit a bump in the road, the unhealthy response is to just lie there and sulk and wallow and not move forward. The healthy, aligned Chariot response, healthy Cancer response, is to say, I didn't like the way that felt. What can I do to move differently so I don't have to get slowed down again, right? And that's what 50 did. Clarify the Five of Pentacles. What do we need to know about the Five of Pentacles? This reading is free, but if you would like to send those offerings, you are more than welcome to. My Cash App and my PayPal are both scrolling below. For those of you who know that you need help understanding your Chiron placement, this is a good time to book a shadow work consultation or a natal chart consultation. You can use the code Chiron to get a discount. Some of you all, and here's the thing, this is spillover from the last reading. Some of you all know that you need to move differently, but you're in like this catch-22 where some of the risks you need to take, you're not taking them because you feel like you don't have enough money. and you're surrounded by people who either are telling you you don't have enough money or who are fucking on purpose impeding your financial progress, right? But you know that you're not going to change your lot or your situation until you take these risks. So you end up going through this cycle of I need to take the risk, but I don't have the money, but the money's not going to come if I don't take the risk. You need to pivot and move in a new direction that's going to bring you better than what you are leaving behind. Some of you guys are connected to situations and attachments that are making it hard for you to move forward the way that you need to, right? And until you go ahead and trust that you will be safe leaving these things behind, you're going to continue to have difficulty. And here's the thing, if you feel like I'm talking about you, but you don't know what it is I'm saying, think about whatever is not bringing you peace. Whatever is making it hard for you to sleep at night, whatever is making you feel like you cannot recover from battle, that is the thing you need to let go, right? If it's disturbing your ability to rest and recuperate, if you feel like you cannot slow down long enough to recover from your past battle, then that means you have some things that you need to leave in the past and move forward and away from, okay? Now, these things, some of you guys got into them for the financial opportunity, but that moment is gone. And you are now left with surrounded by a whole bunch of people who don't know how to pull themselves up, who are stuck in their poverty mindset, and who are making you stay down in the dirt with them. I don't know any other way to say it. That may sound fucked up. Here's the thing. Justice, you get what you put into situations. So if you continue to stay attached to these situations, you cannot be shocked that you are still dealing with poverty as a part of your reality, and poverty is a part of your consciousness and way of thinking. It is not going to be until you I feel like I've quoted this Kendrick song before. Shit ain't gonna change until you get up and wash your ass. Shit ain't gonna change until you get up and change yourself and your environment. And so rather than trying to stick around people who are trying to convince you that you don't deserve, that you can't do better, that you're doing too much by wanting more, figure out a way to get away from that. Because realistically, you cannot heal in the environment that made you sick. And that's what the Justice card is coming up over the Five of Pentacles to say. Okay, you want different, move differently. But right now you are building a karma that is going to continue to bring you stagnation, continue to bring you poverty results. Bottom row, Queen of Swords, ain't nothing to cut that bitch off. Ain't nothing to cut that bitch off. I'll always think about that song whenever Queen of Swords comes up, right? Queen of Swords is so dedicated to her peace, right? Again, the queens are all about the emotional protection that you need. And the swords are about healthy boundaries, right? The swords are about how to use your words to protect yourself. If you are around people that are constantly shitting on your dreams and your visions, stop talking to them. Stop talking to them. This came up in the Chiron reading. Stop telling everybody your fucking business. Stop it. Hold boundaries. If people that you know you don't want to know your business are all of a sudden calling you out of nowhere, asking you 50-11 questions, don't say anything. Guard yourself emotionally by being deliberate about how you use your words and sparing with how you use your words. That will save you from having to go into your debilitation of Queen of Swords and cussing people out all the time. Because a lot of you guys think that that's what's helping you. It's really not. That's honestly a part of what's straining you. Five of Pentacles is also about bad health. So if people are constantly stressing you out and, raising your blood pressure and giving you migraines and do you think that that's going to make you in a healthy, vital position and energy where you can attract a whole lot? No, it's not. I'm going to give you one example of this. Overstimulated mothers need to figure out a way to deal with their overstimulation without projecting that onto their female friends. We are only 2 days into this Chiron retrograde, and I have to be honest, I love all the mothers in my life, but y'all don't get to let your children and your husband stress you out within an inch of your life and then let the chopper sing on your homegirls because you're overstimulated. Part of our responsibility as adults is to have healthy relationships, but that is a Five of Pentacles manifestation of not being tapped into your Queen of Swords. If there are people that are constantly draining you, making you sick, giving you headaches, I'm glad that this resonates. I can see you being the Queen of Swords lately, Bertal. So congratulations to you. But yes, healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries so that they don't put you in a position of bitterness. Because it's when we don't have the healthy boundaries that we get upset, we feel overused, we feel resentful, and that resentment turns into bitterness, and then we just popping off on people that actually love us and fuck with us. Here's the thing. You don't want to move away from these things or this environment because you feel like you're going to lose out. But if you actually allow yourself to do it, you will be grateful, deeply grateful. Because this old energy is preventing from something. It's preventing something from making its way to fill your cup. And Nine of Cups is gratitude and wish fulfillment. There's something that a lot of you guys are worried about this week. If you stand in integrity of your word, and if you don't let people bring confusion into your space, then you'll be fine. You'll be able to meet that. You'll get your cups filled. But again, this is Justice card again. This is another conversation about karma. Are we putting actions towards the things that we want to see? Are our actions in alignment with calling in the kind of energy that we want? If you are surrounded by people who are constantly complaining about not having enough money and not being able to do things, and then the second that you say that you have a plan, they're telling you that that plan don't make sense, and they're trying to talk you into doing something lesser, you cannot be surprised that you're not getting good results. So I'm not even saying that you got to permanently cut people off. But again, Six of Swords, what you're doing is not working. Leave some shit behind. Focus on moving towards better. Because the more that you would continue to allow these things to disrupt your peace and your space, you're not going to have the clarity to get what you want. And it's only going to manifest as bitterness over time. Okay? That is the money reading. Let's do health and wellness, and then I'll take some questions from the audience. We'll skip love for now. We can do the love reading during happy hour this Thursday. Again, my energy is very low after all the healing sessions from this weekend. And I didn't want to miss the reading. Consistency it's really important to me. So we'll skip love this week. And honestly, with all due respect, we only 2 days into the Chiron retrograde. Y'all don't really need to be thinking about love right now anyway. Y'all don't need to be hyper fixated on love. Y'all trying to get y'all's bearings. During Sunday service, my pastor said it's time to cut people off. I think it's okay to do an occasional inventory of your friendship circle and ask yourself who still needs to be there, right? And it's not about who you talk to the most. I have friends that I only talk to maybe 2 or 3 times a year, if that. But they are my deepest ride or dies. If something happened tomorrow and I needed to talk to them, they would clear space for it, right? This deck is exhausted, so I'm going to move over to Millennial. But asking yourself if your relationships are moving you forward, asking yourself if your relationships are bringing you peace, asking yourself if you have relationships with people that only want to take inventory of your business so they can go back to folks and run tell that. I've had to let some people go for that recently. If you ask them, they didn't do anything to me, but like, why are you constantly telling my ops about my business? So it doesn't need to be an argument. I just need to not talk to you because you don't get to violate my safety that way. And that may sound dramatic, but I'm a spiritualist and I really mean that shit. I don't call myself a priestess because it's cute. Again, working priestess. Just healed 5 people this weekend. This is my life, my lifestyle. So no, I don't need people around me who are going to run and tell my business to people that they know are my enemies because they think it's cute to see people. That's why I keep talking about the monitoring spirits that come to my YouTube. I know y'all niggas don't fuck with me. I know that some of y'all are only trying to gather information to run back and tell the people who are throwing shit at me, oh my God, it's working, or oh, it's not working, or whatever the fuck you want to tell them. Get a life. Grow up. Okay? Doing the people inventory will save your life. It really will. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need about our physical, spiritual, mental health, and wellness over these next 7 days? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves and our environment that will allow us to have balance of our holistic health? If there are any habits that we need to release, sustain, or increase to bring balance in terms of mind, body, and spirit, please reveal that in this reading. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I'm working on it, Bertal. I haven't forgotten that conversation and that suggestion. But absolutely, you are 1,000% right. Yeah. So, and I know y'all are probably like, if this bitch say Chiron one more time, Chiron. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep bringing it up because it's such an important retrograde. And I feel like it's easier for you to navigate the other 4 retrogrades that are happening right now when you prioritize Chiron, but also it is coming up in the reading. 6 of Cups. A lot of us are having huge waves of nostalgia. A lot of us are having a lot of memories from our past, especially our past when we were children, really flood us right now, right? Now that is happening by design. It needs to happen, because of the placements, but also this is really going to teach you a lot about what it means to be a high priestess or in your high priestess energy. What do I mean by that? Being tapped into the energy of your inner child. I don't trust priests or priestesses that shit on inner child work. I don't trust priests or priestesses who scoff at shadow work. And the more out of alignment you are with the wholeness of your spirit, the more difficult it's going to be for you to be tapped into your intuition. So these memories are coming up because there's something happening where there's a version of yourself that needs to still process something from those experiences. And that is where you lean into your spiritual wisdom and your intuition in order to do so. Here's the thing. One of the main reasons why it's important to do inner child work is because little you needs to see and deserves to see how far you've come. I'm going to say that again. Little you needs to and deserves to see how far you have come. 10 of Pentacles. Some of you guys have already broken the generational curse. Some of you guys have already gotten to the point where you are out earning, the highest earner in your family of a previous generation. Or you have hit a point of accumulation where you've done better than your parents. Every generation is supposed to do better than the last, right? And a lot of y'all have done that shit. And it's not going to be until you sit in stillness and speak to little you and be like, yeah, we've done this and we've done that. And, we've been here. And Yeah, it's been tough, but we've let little you be in awe of adult you. Not only because little you needs and deserves it, but big you needs that shit too, because we can be so busy and so disconnected from what we have and so wrapped up in a scarcity mindset at times that all we do is focus on the deficit and allow the deficit to force us into moving from scarcity. And then we lose touch with what we actually have. That Four of Pentacles energy, that miserly, I don't have enough, I'm never going to have enough, and I probably won't have enough unless I do some scammy shit energy, is very unhealthy. And it can fuck us up. And the way that you can bring yourself back to gratitude is by talking to little you and remembering how far you have come. Okay? So again, not only do y'all need this because little you deserves and needs this wisdom, it's going to put that battery in your back. This is the second time tonight we've gotten Chariot. So I'm grateful that I said what I said. If you have a tarot deck this week, if you can do it daily, it'll be dope. But at least once this week, sit in reflection over that Chariot energy. The thing that's going to put the battery in your back and remind you that you are capable of moving towards your goals and dreams is pausing and taking inventory of how far you've come. Some of you all are so out of touch with how much you've accomplished just in the last 5 years that you default again to a scarcity mindset and a beat up that's not helpful for you. And in that younger version of you, if you can just stop and bring them up to speed, it'll really put a battery in your back, and it will give you the emotional confidence that you need. Queen of Wands, right? The baddie. You can't hide a baddie. A baddie gonna walk into the room and command every eye in the room. You tell them they're beautiful, they'll be like, yes, I am. I know. Thank you will be the third or the fourth thing that they say, right? But the emotional confidence that you guys need in order to actually move forward, you're not going to fully feel it until you have that conversation with little you. Because right now, that disconnection from little you is making you move from a scarcity mindset. And you're forgetting how much you've done, how many patterns you've broken, all the investments you put into your future, your bloodline, right? Card that fell out in the shuffle. 9 of Swords in reverse. A lot of y'all walking around reliving the same nightmare over and over again. Panicking over shit that don't matter. Panicking over shit that's not true. And that's another reason why you need to have a conversation with little you, to anchor you back into reality so that you're not reliving the same fears over and over again, right? We ruminate over our fears when we're not doing enough and when we don't have a clear understanding of our environment. So if you found yourself waking up in the middle of the night and panicking over the same shit over and over again, if you found yourself drifting off during the day and feeling a sense of dread and like things aren't going to work out for you, now is the time for you to go ahead and really prioritize that inner child work. I know I feel the energy. Some of y'all have sat here and watched me since last weekly wisdom, Friday's Chiron reading, and this reading, hear me say that you need to do your inner child work. And y'all ain't gonna do it. Y'all still gonna be, it's gonna be another week of y'all not doing it. A lot of y'all don't want to do it because you assume that it automatically has to be painful. It's the same reason why a lot of y'all avoid y'all shadow work. Is there pain there? Yes, likely. Does it all have to be pain? Absolutely not. Some of you guys, give that baby a chance. Give that baby a chance. And stop neglecting him or her. Pay them attention. Because your inability to pay attention to them is only going to stagnate you. Because you are moving from their confusion about how far you've come. And that's not helpful to either of you, okay? We are now at the end of the reading. If you have questions for me, go ahead and start putting them in the comments section. I'll try to get to as many as I can tonight. I lied. I'm tired. It's 8:15. I'll probably stay on until 8:30 answering questions. You are very, very welcome, Melissa, and thank you for joining the live tonight. I appreciate your presence here. Go ahead and type out your questions if you have them. As you're doing that, I'll bring everyone up to speed on the things that I'm offering. This round of healing sessions for July is over. I did add some additional dates for the end of August based on not popular demand. I was about to make myself sound way more poppin'. Basically, there were some of you who wanted to do the healing sessions in Atlanta, but you could not make the time for July. So I do have some dates, August 29th through 31st, for the people who do want to come and meet me in person and get a healing session. So if you are interested in booking that, go ahead and click the link below. I have not updated the link, so it's going to say July, but that's the same link to pay for August. So feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to join the Healing Sessions intake group. Ask any questions you have. July 29th through the 31st, there will be another opportunity. I have finally chosen a location as well as dates for the Sacred Alignment Hoodoo Retreat in 2026. It will be June 21st through the 23rd in San Diego, California. Sedona is going to happen in 2027. San Diego is really calling me. The next retreat needs to be near a beach. It just has to happen that way. So if you want to join us in June of 2025 for a weekend of healing around divine feminine energy, taking classes to learn how to do certain conjure to help and heal yourself, join the intake group for Sacred Alignment below to receive more information. From now until the end of August, until August 31st, Ancestral Life Path readings are on sale for $75. And from now until August 1st, which is this coming Friday, you can get 20% off of any service or any purchase on my website over $60 when you use the code Chiron, okay? So if you've been wanting to book a reading, if you've been wanting to get a tutoring session, if you've been wanting to purchase classes, now's a good time to do it. If you use the code Chiron at checkout before midnight on Friday, you will receive 20% off. Rich Spirit ain't happening until November, so I'll update on y'all on that closer to September or October. But those are everything that I'm offering right now. Even if you don't want to get an Ancestral Life Path reading, because I know some of you guys have had them, and I feel like that's a reading where you don't need to get it all the time. I think once a year is a good amount to get it. Once every few years is also good. I get one from someone I trust once every few years. But if you don't want to get an Ancestral Life Path reading and you know that you have some heavy stuff moving around in terms of Chiron, especially if your Chiron is in the cardinal house or a cardinal sign, I would strongly suggest you booking a shadow work consultation and using the code to get a percentage off of that, okay? Let's see. Let me hide this comment so that I can scroll up. Are there any questions? Dulcinea, I see your question. If there's anyone else that has questions for me, go ahead and put those in the comments. And Sanidra, you need to book your Patreon reading with me. You didn't do it last month, and then also you have this month. So you have 20 minutes in reading time with me, Sanidra. So make sure that you reach out to me over this next week so that we can go ahead and get you on my calendar. Thank you. Dulcinea says she recommended the Ancestral Life Path reading to a friend of hers. I hope she reaches out too. I think it's an amazing introductory reading. I really love doing Ancestral Life Path readings for people who've never gotten a tarot reading before. I think it's a really good introduction because it gives you an overview of how the spirits around you show up. And it also gives you really good insight into the role that you play in the context of your bloodline, if that makes sense. So especially for people who've never gotten readings before, who don't know what to expect, it's a very, very good introduction. Dulcinea wants to know, what would my ancestors like me to focus on for the remainder of the summer? I got you. And then after Dulcinea, okay, Elisa, we need to talk because I think I may have been messaging the wrong person. I think I did that. I'm sorry. But I'm gonna put my work number in the comments. I think all of y'all know it by now, but I'm gonna put it in there. So Elisa, text me at this number before the night is over. Kulisa is not here this week, but I remember her saying a week or so ago that she had placed an order with me and never got it. And I need her to call me too, because I have no record of that order. All right. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits to walk with me. My elevated ancestors. What wisdom does Dulcinea need about the remainder of her summer? Please help her with guidance around how she should best use her time and her energy during these remaining weeks of the summer. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. And I got you next, Empress. I see your question. If there's anyone else, I can probably do one or two more after Empress. So go ahead and feel free to put your question below if you have one for me. You overthink quite a bit, and the overthinking can make you, I don't want to say paranoid, but it does exhaust you. Sometimes you feel like a soul exhaustion just because you sat around and overthought a lot, right? So your spirits would really like to see you make progress around that, because this next phase of your life and a lot of the responsibilities that are going to come into your life around November aren't going to be ones that are conducive to the overthinking and the stagnation that comes with the overthinking. So the very, very first thing that they would like to see you focus on is self-care. Getting as much rest as you possibly can. I got you, Liz. I'll answer you after I'm done with Empress, okay? But you need to rest. You need to rest. You need to rest in preparation for everything that's ahead of you, okay? And there are some really difficult thoughts that are not helping you. I think you believe that the rumination is productive, but it's not. And so they would like to see you lay the negative thoughts to bed so that you can, and I hate this language and phrasing, but it's what they're saying, so that you can get over it and focus on entering your next chapter. You do have a lot to plan. And so they would rather see you put the overthinking into developing strategy, right? Remembering that the King of Swords is the strategist. They're the lawyer. They're the advisor. They're really deliberate, right? But also getting comfortable with not letting everybody have access to you, right? And when I say not letting everybody have access to you, I don't mean it in like a, there's monitoring spirits kind of way. That's not what's coming up. You're about to enter a time period where everybody can't have access to you because you're fucking busy. Like, you're just going to be busy, right? And November keeps coming up for some reason. Like, by the time November rolls around, you're going to be so busy that you aren't going to have the emotional or mental capacity to hear people's BS or sit around and listen to people gossip and complain. So getting yourself into the habit of not always being available now because you're working on your strategy is something that they would really like to see you move over and adjust into. All right, Empress had a question, so I will answer hers next. Dulcinea, let me know if that was helpful to you. Empress wants to know, what do my ancestors feel about Junior? What do Empress's ancestors want her to know about Junior? What is the wisdom that she needs about Junior? If there's anything hidden about Junior that needs to be revealed, please allow this reading to be the illumination that she needs. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Nicole said that they have a question about the ancestral life path reading. She wants to know if yes. So this is a question that a lot of people have, actually. Your life path is not the same as your children's, not the same as your partner's, not the same as your mother's or father's. So yes, your ancestral life path reading would be different than hers because she has a completely different life path and set of responsibilities that are rooted to her time in this body on this earth at this moment, right? So, and there's likely to be overlap, of course, because half of her ancestors come from your ancestry, right? But then she has this whole other side that is her father, right? And then depending on what elevated ancestors have an investment in her living certain purposes out, all that is going to shape her reading and her experience. So the short answer is yes. Her reading would be completely different than yours. Who is Junior to you? Is this your son or is this a lover? Thank you, Empress. So your ancestors feel that Junior is going through a period of time where, how do I explain King of Wands energy? They're really confident. They're really excited about what they are capable of. And not only are they excited about what they're capable of, they're excited about enrolling people in the vision of what they're capable of. Let me see, I'm trying to get back to your question so I can have it highlighted. I'm confused myself already. I'm so easily confused. Okay. Okay, that's helpful because the meaning of the King of Wands would have been completely different if this was like your child. But he's passionate about you. He loves you down. Deeply sexually attracted to you because King of Wands is the card of big dick energy. It's the card of somebody who's very sexually passionate. But Junior is also attractive and has a little bit of a hoe spirit. Now, when I say that they have a hoe spirit, they're not going to cheat on you. That's not what they're going to do, because the good thing is that this is an alignment. So they have too much integrity for that. But there may be some flirtations, especially with it being summer. So be mindful of that. He does fear that with somebody having a recent interest in him, that you're going to get upset about it. Have you been having any concerns about him not being faithful? The reason why I ask you that is because I don't see anything in the reading that dictates that he has not been faithful, but it's clear that there's a concern or a fear around that. So there may be a need for transformation in you guys' relationship, especially with Chiron being in retrograde and Mercury being in retrograde. You guys may have some arguments, but here's the thing. The Death card is good. Even if you guys bicker about him being flirtatious or having the attentions of other women, this is a breakthrough for y'all. So it's going to be an uncomfortable argument, yes, but it's going to transform the nature of you all's relationship. He has to learn how to be more mindful of the fact that he's fine. And you need to be more confident and mindful of not moving in suspicion. So yeah, y'all are bickering, and the bickering is going to intensify, But if you guys can move from an aligned place and an awareness of your fears instead of projecting your fears onto one another, it'll actually make you guys' relationship stronger in the long run. Okay? You are welcome, Nicole. Feel free to ask any questions that you may have. All right? Lise MDC, who is on Instagram, wants to know, they said, I've been having vivid and weird dreams. What are my spirit guides or ancestors trying to tell me? Okay. You're very welcome, Empress. Unless someone else has a question, I think Lisa's going to be my last question for the night. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. I love too, Jaleesa. I love, but love ain't no hoe. Love ain't no hoe. So Jaleesa, remember how when I met you yesterday, I was like, yeah, I just cussed you know who out? Yeah, we not talking. I thought it would get better and it just got progressively worse. So yeah. There's a reason why I'm single. There's a reason. Men get on my fucking nerves. Let's see. Ancestors, angels, ascended master spirits walk with me. My elevated ancestors, what does Lise need to know about the dreams that they are having? What's going on? What are the dreams trying to reveal to her at this time? Any wisdom share is deeply appreciated. I don't know if I wanted to come back around, and I'm okay with that. I'm at the point where it's like, just get out my way so get out my way so the next one can come along. That's where I'm at. Listen, so you may feel like your dreams are more vivid right now, but honestly, your dreams are a spiritual gift. You are a dreamer. It may be in your best interest to start studying dream interpretation. You are being warned about a woman. Give me 1 second. Clarify this Queen of Swords. What is the Queen of Swords trying to tell us? Lisa, you need to do a cleansing over your home and over yourself, okay? There is a woman, your spirits are warning you about a woman that has ill intentions. There's a woman who has embitterment towards you, and it's most likely to do with romance, not romance between you and the woman, but there's somebody whose attention, I don't know if you're dating somebody that has like a baby's mama, or if somebody who recently had attractions to you had an unrequited lover or a lover that wasn't done with them yet. But your spirits are letting you know that somebody is, I won't go as far as to say that they are throwing work at you, but they have some very nasty intentions towards you. Okay, baby? Very first card is the Magician. All right, Jaleesa, take care. The Magician, again, you have all the tools at your disposal to have a really good connection and relationship with your spirits. And the Magician is somebody who hones a skill set over time. They may look like they do it with ease to the outside world, but there's a lot of study that goes into it. Your spirits are calling you to initiation. And here's the thing, when I talk about the spirits calling you to initiation, that doesn't mean that you initiate within a tradition. There's multiple forms of spirit initiation. And for you, your spirit initiation is around accepting the fact that you are a dreamer and that the spirits give you omen through your dreams, right? I think this is new. This may feel like new information for you, but low key, I feel like you've known this for a lot of your life. You probably just haven't been able to hone this skill, or you haven't really believed in it. Now, they are warning you about an embittered woman. And this is an embittered woman, Queen of Swords, who fixates on you a lot. They have had really strong things to say about you. Queen of Swords is not always a card of hexing, but it is a card that is about using your tongue to be emotionally abusive towards a person. So this is somebody who has not had the nicest things to say about you. And this is because they want to end you. They want to end a chapter that you have with somebody. They want to sever your connection with another person, and they don't want this person to bring you into this next chapter. Now, if it weren't for the Ace of Cups, I would assume that this could be like just a jealous friend or something. But this Ace of Cups being the card of a new love offering and somebody pouring love into you, they are jealous of the romantic and emotional connection that you have with someone else. Okay? So I say that to say, cleanse your home, do a spiritual bath, pray Psalm 91. Also pray Psalm 18. Do I want to give her the spirit? Put an extra glass of water on your altar. And in this glass of water, put rose petals in the bottom. Okay? So put rose petals in the bottom of the glass, pour water over it. Leave this glass of water on your altar for at least 4 days. Pay attention to what happens to those rose petals. Okay? If they mildew and wilt really, really quickly, then that means that the working is working. And if they don't, if they just continue to be there and chill and stay in their original state, then that's fine. It means that it doesn't have impact on you. Just because people throw work at us doesn't mean that it always lands. I'm going to be really honest with you. About a good 70% of the work that people will throw at you isn't going to land. And if you are fortunate, your spirits will warn you about it if you're in conversation with them, if you're not too busy and if you're paying attention. But yeah, I feel like your spirits are trying to warn you before something lands. But do the water rose petal thing, pay attention to it. If they do mildew or wilt, call me or book a reading on my website, 404-654-3246. My website is Soleil, SOLE, conjureshop.com. Okay. All right, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and duck out for the night. Again, if you want to book either a shadow work consultation or an ancestral life path reading with me, or any reading at all, you can use the code Chiron before August 1st to get 20% off. I will be back here on Thursday for a happy hour reading. I usually don't, typically I don't know what I'm going to talk about until right before I make the link. But no, we're going to talk about incels. We're going to talk about male entitlement. We're going to talk about Slim Thug's old ass lusting after Megan Thee Stallion and turning into a complete bitch baby just because she had the audacity to date somebody that wasn't him. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about these things, and I'm looking forward to shooting the shit and having a drink with y'all on Thursday. Love you all. Take care. If you have not already watched the Chiron reading, hit the link below. Watch the Chiron reading. Again, I'm going to leave that link in all the descriptions between now and December. 5 months. 5 months of difficult emotional information and triggers coming up. And if you think you big and bad and it's not, I've seen Chiron retrogrades take the most arrogant niggas to their knees. Okay? So watch the reading, get prepared, make sure you have everything you need to know to take care of yourself, okay? Love you all, and I will see you Thursday. All right. Oh. See y'all Thursday.